When people hear the term blue chip, they often think of large, stable companies like Apple, Microsoft, or Coca-Cola. These are firms with long track records, strong fundamentals, and an ability to weather storms while continuing to deliver value over decades. In the world of cryptocurrency, the concept of blue chip is a little trickier. Unlike traditional companies with quarterly earnings and regulated disclosures, crypto projects are evaluated based on their technology, adoption, utility, network stability, and long-term relevance in the digital economy. Most investors automatically classify Bitcoin and Ethereum as blue-chip cryptos. Bitcoin, as the original and most decentralized digital asset, has earned its place as digital gold. Ethereum, with its smart contract functionality and massive developer ecosystem, is often viewed as the foundation of Web3. Beyond these two, the conversation usually extends to Solana, XRP, or BNB, projects with strong ecosystems or major financial backing. But in that same conversation, Stellar Lumens, XLM, rarely gets the spotlight, even though its fundamentals arguably align with what makes a true blue-chip digital asset. So what exactly qualifies a cryptocurrency as blue chip? Typically, three core qualities stand out: longevity and proven track record, surviving multiple bear markets, proving resilience against volatility and competition. Real-world utility, a use case that addresses genuine global problems, not just speculative hype. Adoption and ecosystem growth, evidence of integration with institutions, businesses, or governments. When measured against these benchmarks, Stellar checks every box. Launched in 2014 by Jed McCaleb, who co-founded Ripple but left to build Stellar with a different vision, the Stellar network has quietly grown into one of the most reliable and efficient blockchain platforms in the industry. Its mission has remained consistent from day one, making money more fluid and accessible across borders. Unlike many crypto projects that pivot repeatedly, Stellar has focused relentlessly on solving the problem of cross-border payments and financial inclusion. This focus has led to impressive institutional partnerships that many casual crypto traders are unaware of. Stellar's collaborations with IBM, MoneyGram, Circle, USDC on Stellar, and even government agencies show that it is more than just another token traded on exchanges. It is building the infrastructure for a future where money moves globally as seamlessly as email. Yet, despite this strong foundation, XLM remains one of the most underrated digital assets. Its price performance doesn't always match its progress, and it often slips under the radar of mainstream coverage. But just like undervalued blue-chip stocks in traditional markets, that underrated status might be exactly what gives XLM its edge in the 2025 bull market. In this analysis, we'll break down why Stellar might be the most overlooked blue-chip crypto, explore its real-world utility, highlight the strength of its partnerships, and explain why 2025 could finally be the year it claims the recognition it deserves. When people talk about the future of money, they often highlight buzzwords like Web3, DeFi, or metaverse payments. But the truth is, before we get to futuristic ideas, the world still struggles with a very real and very old problem: moving money across borders. Sending funds internationally is expensive, slow, and often inaccessible to the people who need it most. This is where Stellar XLM has carved out its niche, and why it might be the sleeper blue chip of the crypto industry. The problem with traditional cross-border payments. Today's global payment systems are dominated by SWIFT, Western Union, MoneyGram, and banks that charge high fees and rely on legacy infrastructure. For example, a migrant worker in Europe trying to send €200 back home to their family in sub-Saharan Africa might face fees of 6% to 10% on the transaction, transfer times of several days, currency conversion headaches that eat into the final amount received. According to the World Bank, the global remittance market is worth over $700 billion annually, with much of it flowing into low- and middle-income countries. Yet, billions of people who rely on this lifeline are stuck paying high costs simply because the financial system wasn't built to serve them efficiently. This is where Stellar stands out. From day one, the project was designed to solve exactly this issue, making money more fluid, borderless, and inclusive. Stellar's technical advantage: speed, cost, and simplicity. Unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum in their early days, Stellar isn't trying to reinvent money or build an everything platform. This focus has been laser-sharp. Create a blockchain network optimized for payments. Here's what makes Stellar powerful. Transaction speed. Stellar can settle transactions in 2 to 5 seconds. Low fees. The average cost of a Stellar transaction is a fraction of a cent, making it accessible even for microtransactions. Currency bridges. Through its built-in decentralized exchange and anchors, Stellar allows seamless conversions between local fiat currencies and digital assets. This efficiency isn't theoretical, it's already being used in practice. Companies like MoneyGram have integrated with Stellar to offer crypto-to-cash and cash-to-crypto services worldwide. That means someone in the US can send USDC on Stellar to their family abroad, who can then cash it out at a local MoneyGram branch in minutes. Financial inclusion. Reaching the unbanked. One of Stellar's most powerful use cases is its potential to bring financial access to the 1.4 billion adults worldwide who remain unbanked. World Bank, 2022. For people without access to traditional banks, Stellar provides a bridge into the global economy via nothing more than a mobile phone and internet connection. Consider how transformative this is. A small farmer in Kenya can receive international payments directly in a stablecoin like USDC on Stellar, without needing a bank account. An entrepreneur in the Philippines can accept global payments instantly and cheaply, instead of waiting days for bank wires. A refugee relying on NGO support, through programs run by partners like UNHCR and Mercy Corps, can receive aid directly through Stellar wallets, without middlemen or excessive fees. This focus on real-world utility, not speculation, not hype, makes Stellar's mission different from many crypto projects. It's not chasing the latest trend. It's solving one of the most persistent, everyday challenges in global finance. Partnerships that prove real-world adoption. Blue-chip status in crypto isn't just about technology. It's about who trusts and uses the network. Stellar has consistently attracted serious partners. IBM World Wire, 2019. Stellar was chosen to power IBM's cross-border payment solution, connecting banks and financial institutions worldwide. MoneyGram integration, 2021. One of the largest remittance companies in the world now uses Stellar for blockchain-based settlements. USDC on Stellar. Circle launched its stablecoin on Stellar, creating a reliable on-ramp and off-ramp for institutions and individuals. NGO collaborations. Humanitarian organizations like UNHCR and Mercy Corps are piloting Stellar for aid disbursement in crisis zones. Each of these partnerships highlights Stellar's reputation as a serious, compliant, and scalable solution. While other blockchains chase hype cycles, Stellar has slowly and steadily positioned itself as the infrastructure for global payments. Why this matters for 2025. The 2025 bull market is shaping up differently than past cycles. Unlike 2017's ICO mania or 2021's DeFi and NFT boom, investors and institutions are now looking for real-world utility that can scale. Governments are tightening regulations, institutional money is entering, and only projects with clear use cases and compliance frameworks are likely to thrive long-term. This puts Stellar in a prime position. Its focus on payments and inclusion aligns with both global financial needs and regulatory priorities. For example, governments worldwide are exploring CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and Stellar's architecture makes it a natural partner for countries looking to launch digital fiat. ESG-conscious investors are paying more attention to crypto projects that promote financial inclusion and reduce costs for underserved populations. Stellar checks both boxes. Stablecoins are becoming mainstream, and Stellar is one of the most efficient networks for moving them. If the bull market narrative shifts toward utility and adoption, Stellar could emerge as a leader, even if its price doesn't yet reflect its real-world impact. The underrated factor, trust. Finally, there's the matter of trust. Stellar has quietly built a reputation for stability, security, and compliance. Unlike some projects that chase hype and suffer setbacks, Stellar has avoided major scandals, rug pulls, or dramatic controversies. This consistency matters, especially for institutions looking for reliable blockchain partners. It also makes Stellar feel more like a blue-chip asset in waiting. Just as traditional blue-chip stocks are trusted because of their durability and predictability, Stellar offers something similar in crypto. A steady, proven, and mission-driven project that has already lasted more than a decade. In summary, Stellar's core strength lies not in speculation but in tackling one of the world's most practical financial problems: cross-border payments and inclusion. Its speed, cost efficiency, institutional partnerships, and alignment with regulatory priorities position it as a potential blue-chip crypto hiding in plain sight. When we talk about blue-chip crypto projects, the names that usually dominate the conversation are Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe Solana. Each has its narrative. Bitcoin as the digital gold, Ethereum as the world computer, and Solana as the high-speed DeFi and NFT hub. But here's where Stellar quietly stands apart. Its purpose, design, and audience are completely different. Bitcoin is brilliant as a store of value, but it's not designed to handle everyday payments. Ethereum is the backbone of decentralized finance, but fees and congestion often make it impractical for small transactions. Solana offers speed, but it's still trying to find its long-term identity after waves of outages and shifting narratives. Stellar, meanwhile, has stayed laser-focused on one mission: making money move like email. That clarity is underrated. In a space where projects constantly pivot to chase trends, Stellar has maintained a single, consistent identity. It's not trying to be everything at once. It's trying to solve one of the most persistent problems in global finance. And here's the kicker. The world needs this solution now more than ever. Remittances keep growing, emerging markets are demanding digital access, and governments are exploring digital currencies. Stellar's infrastructure fits into all of these narratives without needing to reinvent itself. Another way Stellar differs is in its partnership approach. Instead of chasing retail hype cycles, Stellar has built credibility by working with established institutions like MoneyGram, Circle, IBM, and NGOs. That doesn't always make for flashy headlines, but it creates a foundation of trust and stability that looks more like traditional finance than speculative crypto. This is why Stellar deserves to be considered a blue chip in the making. It's not about short-term hype or meme coin pumps. It's about being the quiet infrastructure that underpins billions of dollars in global value transfer. It's about building something that lasts. So while the spotlight may stay on Bitcoin or Ethereum in headlines, Stellar could end up being the sleeper pick of this bull market. Its strength lies in being overlooked, because by the time the broader market wakes up to Stellar's role in the financial system, the train might already be leaving the station. Now, as bullish as Stellar's story sounds, we've got to keep it real. No project is without its risks. And if we're talking about Stellar as a potential blue-chip crypto, it's important to understand the challenges it faces. First up, competition. Stellar isn't the only blockchain tackling payments. Ripple, XRP, has long been positioned as a cross-border payment solution, with partnerships across banks and financial institutions. On top of that, Ethereum, Solana, and even newer Layer 2 solutions are all experimenting with cheaper, faster transactions. While Stellar has carved out a niche, it has to keep proving why it's the better infrastructure for payments in a crowded field. Then there's the issue of adoption speed. Yes, Stellar has big partnerships with MoneyGram, IBM, and NGOs, but the question is, how quickly will these partnerships scale? It's one thing to launch a pilot program, and another to see millions of people using Stellar wallets for daily transactions. The challenge isn't just building tech. It's about distribution, onboarding, and convincing people to trust a blockchain they may never have heard of. Regulation is another wild card. Governments are still figuring out how to treat stablecoins, CBDCs, and crypto-based payment systems. Stellar has positioned itself as compliance-friendly, which is a strength, but if regulations become too fragmented or restrictive, that could slow down global adoption. There's also the tokenomics question. XLM is the fuel of the Stellar network, but unlike Bitcoin's store of value narrative, many users interact with Stellar without directly holding XLM. For example, if someone uses USDC on Stellar to send remittances, XLM is used in the background for fees, but the user may not even realize it. That could cap speculative demand for XLM as an asset, even if the network grows. Finally, there's the broader risk of market perception. Stellar doesn't have the same hype machine as Solana or Ethereum, and sometimes being the quiet builder can mean investors overlook it. In a bull market that thrives on hype cycles, Stellar has to work harder to grab attention, even when its fundamentals are strong. But here's the key takeaway. These challenges don't negate Stellar's potential. In fact, they highlight the balance. Stellar isn't a guaranteed moonshot, but it's a project with a real use case, credible partners, and resilience. For long-term thinkers, that's exactly what you want in a blue-chip asset. At the end of the day, Stellar isn't chasing the spotlight. It's building the pipes that could quietly run the global financial system. That's the real blue-chip angle here. Bitcoin is digital gold, Ethereum is programmable finance, but Stellar is money movement made simple. And in a world where billions rely on remittances, microtransactions, and affordable access to finance, that mission matters more than any hype cycle ever could. Yes, there are risks, adoption speed, competition, regulation. But when you zoom out, Stellar has been consistent, resilient, and laser-focused for over a decade. It's solving a trillion-dollar problem and doing so with credible partners like MoneyGram, IBM, Circle, and global NGOs. That's why some investors quietly see XLM as the sleeper pick of the 2025 bull market. So here's the big question. When the headlines are screaming about Bitcoin's halving and Ethereum ETFs, will you notice the quiet, steady rise of Stellar? Or will you only look back later and realize it was one of the real blue-chip plays all along?